Hello, everyone. Welcome back to day 2 of Soft Flex Company's Customer Appreciation Week. Fun. We are going to hang out with our good friend, Abbi Berta, over at the Bead Place in just a moment. She's got a gorgeous kit that she put together. I think it's called the Long Winding Road Wrap Bracelet, and it's got some beautiful colorways. So if you've got your kit, go ahead and grab it. And if you don't have one, she still has some in the shop over at thebeadplace.net. Let's see. Got quite a few of you joining us. Hello, hello. Let's bring Abbi on here.
Hi.
Hey, how are you doing today, Miss Abbi?
I'm good. I was just sharing the stream. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'll give you another second. I think Thomas is sharing too.
I'm
so
done
if there's
now.
somewhere.
I got it. We're good. I was like, if I start talking while you're doing the intro, like if I add commentary, then I'll get distracted and I'll never get the stream shared because I have like a one-track mind these days. There is no multitasking.
Yeah, it's like we have to do the stream right in the beginning, otherwise it's not happening.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello. We've got Norma from Kentucky and Terry, and Lynn is watching from Louisiana. Hi, Sherry and Dana and Michelle and Maria and Brenda. Hi, Kim and Susie's in Arizona like me. Oh, Susie, we're having a beautiful overcast day, aren't we? It's a little dark in my screen today, though, because of it. Hi, Diane. Hi, Donna and Cynthia and Dana and Carol. Oh, so fun to see all of you. I hope you guys are enjoying this week. It's been like a ton of fun already, and we're just getting started. Michelle is wondering where Alex is, Abbi.
He's working the store floor right now. The store's open, so I'm hiding in my little metal studio back here.
Yeah, it's the middle of the day for you guys.
Yeah, yep.
So for those of you that don't know Abbi, why don't you tell us a little bit about your store?
Sure. So I'm Abbi, and I am of the Bead Place. We are a brick and mortar bead store in the St. Louis area. We're in a suburb of St. Louis called Fairview Heights. We're in the Illinois side of St. Louis, though. So we also are an online retailer and wholesaler. Our website's right there, beadplace.net. And I'm super excited to be here. We've been carrying Soft Flex products the entire time that our store's been open. We've been open since 2005, so it's been a lot of great years using Soft Flex products.
Oh my gosh! So that's just is that 18 years?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh my God! Congratulations! That is no small feat to be open for that long. And are you in a new location from where you started?
Yes. So we have moved twice since we've been open. Last February we moved to this location, and our store floor at this point is just under 4,000 square feet, which is like huge for us.
That sounds huge.
Yeah, we love it here. It's kind of like hopefully this is our forever spot. So,
and you do you do tutorials online. Abbi has a fantastic YouTube channel, and then I think you go live. So if you want to share what those ways of finding you are.
So, yep, my YouTube channel is just my name, which is Abbi Berta, and we are live there on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central. And then it's the same stream on Facebook at 7, of course, as well. And then Fridays at 6 p.m. we are doing the whole whatnot thing. So we're trying out whatnot like Soft Flex. So we're over there Fridays at 6 p.m. Central.
Oh my gosh, it's been pretty fun over there, you guys. If you haven't checked it out yet, download the Whatnot app and go check it out. So Abby's been live on Fridays. Soft Flex has been going live on Fridays when we can. We're trying to work it into our schedule, but we've got Customer Appreciation Week this week, and it's just sort of new, so we're trying to get it in there. But I think we're planning to do something regularly on Fridays with you guys as well.
Yeah. Those raid trains over there have been super fun. And I recognize some names in chat of people that have joined us over there.
Super cool. Well, thank you so much for supporting Soft Flex Company and using Soft Flex Wire for so many years. I mean, we just really, just want to say how much we appreciate that, and that, we wouldn't be here if we didn't have people like you that were using our products and sharing it all the time with all of our fantastic friends.
Well, thanks. I wouldn't want to use anything else.
Sherry is saying, I love your Whatnot channel, Abby.
Oh, thank you. It's fun over there. It's super fast paced and just exciting. Not that our Facebook streams aren't exciting. It's like really kind of,
it's just
a new
thing. Yeah. And I feel like it is interesting. It's nice to be on multiple platforms like we are, because every one of them has their own little flavor and flair and different thing about it. But I will say, it does seem to move quickly. So the comments are fast and people are just moving real fast over there. So if you like things to be a little extra energetic, it's a good spot for you to check out.
Yep, definitely.
So what do we got going on today, Abby?
So today we are doing the long winding road bracelet. And so I'm going to switch real quick to my hand cam, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, no, that's great. Let me make you big on the screen too, so everyone can see.
So for this project, we kind of wanted to show how durable and flexible Soft Flex is. So one of the best ways, in my opinion, to show that is by making a project that's kind of wiggly. And so we are using medium Soft Flex to do 3 different colorways for this kit. This is the one that I'm going to be making today. Let me see if I can find the focus spot. Sorry, in just a second, guys. Maybe if I put my hand behind it. There we go.
This one is such a fun colorway. Abby puts together such interesting colors. I really always enjoy your color combinations.
I just like weird stuff. And I know a lot of you guys like weird stuff too. So I am happy to put together kits with unusual colors. So
yeah, because I think that makes it a little extra special for all of us that are like, ooh, I wouldn't have thought to put that together. So seeing it and looking how beautiful it is, it's like a little extra something that might be a bit out of your normal color range.
Yeah. So if you are not into weird colors, we certainly did a bracelet color combo for you. This is the pearl and pewter colorway. Let me put my hand behind it. Let's see if it's going to give me trouble. So this one features this adorable mandala button, and this has pearl and steel tila, or half tilas and quarter tilas, and then some fun little spacer beads in between. And then the third colorway that we did is, of course, almost everybody's favorite, turquoise and bronze.
Yeah, that's a good classic.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go over the parts and pieces in the kit. I'll move my stuff out of the way and we'll get to it.
Oh, Jan's got her kit in hand. She's excited. Awesome. Cynthia is asking, is that the mustard, the one that you're pulling out right now?
Yes, I am going to be using the mustard and magenta colorway today. So in the kit, there are a variety of beads. You are going to have your little size 8 seed beads. You are going to have some metal size 8 seed beads as well. So for me, my metal ones are copper in this kit. In the turquoise and bronze, they're going to be brass. in the pearl colorway. They're going to be silver, but they are pretty much the same size and shape as your colorful seed beads. So we have our Soft Flex, we have our two different kinds of seed beads, we have a beautiful accent button that's going to operate as our clasp, and then we have quarter tilas and we have half tilas. So what we're going to start by doing is we are going to put our seed beads kind of to the center of our design. And in your little bag, you're also going to have two little crimps. We're going to set those to the side for now. We're not going to use those till later. And in fact, one thing that I'm going to do, and this is something that I forget to do sometimes, but I'm going to just put them back in the bag and set the bag off to the side. Because sometimes what I do is I fling those crimps while I'm working and then they're gone forever. I never can find them. So if you put them in the bag, then you can find them.
And that's sad. You don't want to lose your crimps.
No, you don't. So what we're going to do to start out is we are going to string about 20 of our seed beads. Now, what you'll need to do, although I would love to say that all seed beads are uniform in shape and size, and most are, but what we need to do is we need to make sure that 20 is the accurate number for your button. So what I'm going to do is just string them, and then I'm going to string my first bead, and I'm going to make sure that it is going to be enough to fit around my button. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second. So I'm just choosing one side of the Soft Flex to string this on at this point, but I am not going to put my bead stopper on the other side quite yet. I'm just kind of hanging on to it.
And what size Soft Flex did you end up putting in this kit?
We did medium for this one. And the reason why we chose medium is because I like the rigidity of medium. It's still plenty flexible enough to make a double strand bracelet with the tila beads, but it's rigid enough to hold its shape and kind of keep those wiggles going through the bracelet.
Yeah, I was wondering because I had a feeling it was either medium or heavy because the bracelet has so much structure to it that I figured you probably wanted to go with something a little bit heavier.
Yeah, you know, I very rarely use heavy. I probably should use it a little bit more, but I find that medium is strong enough for pretty much anything that I'm doing.
I agree. I very rarely use heavy too. I tend to use the medium for pretty much everything.
Yeah. So at this point in time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to string my first little section of my tilas here. And I'm going to make sure that I have enough seed beads here that my button can go through it. So I've moved my seed beads to the center of my Soft Flex. My tail ends are about even here. They don't have to be perfect at this point, but we want them to be about the same length. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up one of my little quarter tilas and I'm going to string it through both pieces or both ends of that Soft Flex. So let me put my hand behind it so you can see what I'm doing here. So just like that. I'm going to slide it down and I'm going to do my half tila and then another quarter tila. And you could check it with just the quarter tila on there, but I find that it holds a little bit more securely if we get that entire first section on and then try the button. And it's not too tricky.
Heather is saying working with tilas are just so much fun.
Definitely. I love tilas. Okay, so we're going to check to make sure that our button can fit through here. Yep, we're good. It'll slide through. You want it to be able to slide through easily at this point in time. You don't want much drag on the button because we're going to have to add some, some connection to this other side where the shank is. So if it's tight going through now, once we add the jeweler's wire and those little finishing beads on there, it's going to be impossible to get it through. So we want a little bit of movement here. We want it to go through freely. But it shouldn't be so loose that you would expect it to fall off when you wear it. So I've got 20 on here, like I said, but you'll have to kind of double check and make sure that that's the number for you. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get tricky. Are you guys ready to pay attention? I hope you are.
I'm ready. What's next?
So we're going to separate our jeweler's wire pieces. I've got my right hand and I've got my left hand. I'm going to put one of the metal, oh, hold on. I'm going to put one of those metal seed beads on just one side. And then I'm going to do another section of my quarter tila, half tila, and quarter tila. And pardon me, I'm always a little bit nervous when we do these streams, so I'm a little shaky. I'm going to try to get this done as fast as I can, though, so that you guys aren't watching me struggle with these tilas. But those of you that have worked with quarter tilas before know how finicky they can be sometimes if you don't have a steady great. Oh, hey, thanks. Okay, so we're going to slide this back down, and we're going to keep it so that our right hand wire is in our right hand and our left hand wire is in our left hand. And if you've put it down and you're not quite sure which is which, the right hand is, of course, the one that has the seed bead on it. Okay, so you can see that we have a little bit of that Soft Flex wire showing here. That's okay. We're going to tighten that as we go. And then the wonderful thing about this design is that even if the Soft Flex shows a little bit, we color coordinated these kits so that the beautiful Soft Flex can shine through, and it's no big deal at all if it's visible. So next, what we're going to do is we are going to take our left hand wire and we're going to put another one of those size 8 metal spacers on like that. I hope you guys can see that okay.
So you're just switching to the other side,
exactly.
The other wire.
Yeah, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add a quarter tila, a half tila, and a quarter tila. So I wish that there was like a super easy way of stringing these tilas, but as far as I know, there's not. But what I love about Soft Flex is that it is stiff enough that it can operate on its own like a needle, and you don't really need to kind of finagle it at all. It just pokes through. So what I like to do is I like to hold my wire in my hands like this at just the right kind of separation spacing so that I can just pick up my bead and slide it on. And of course, good lighting and good eyesight helps. And if you need to wear your reading glasses, I would recommend doing that because you don't want to struggle with a project that's supposed to be fun. Oh goodness, hold on. There we go. So you can see at this point, the zigzag pattern is already starting to form. Just kind of, it naturally, as I pull tension on it, my tilas are kind of tilting to the side. So I hope you guys can see that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to switch back to our right hand thread, or not thread, our right hand wire. And now we're going to bring in those colorful seed beads. So I'm going to pick up one of my magenta seed beads and I'm going to string that down. And then again, pick up my quarter tila, half tila, and quarter tila. So anytime you're using these tila beads, they are always going to be in that repeat. So it's always quarter tila, half tila, and then quarter tila. The only tricky part of the pattern is just kind of remembering where you are so that you're placing either the metal seed beads or the glass seed beads in the right spot. And that'll get easier as we go. It'll be easier to see. So
Joan is asking, did you forget the seed bead? But I think
nope, we just added that in there. And I'm sorry, I'm not sure what the deal is with my camera wanting to autofocus in all the wrong spots today, but I'm going to try to keep putting my hand behind it so it can recognize what I'm doing here. So you can see as I pull tension, it it's going to kind of start to make that wiggle. So let me pull real tight tension so you can see really clearly and exaggeratedly what I'm talking about. So you see how it starts to kind of wind up and down? All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to take our left hand wire and we're going to add the seed bead on. So as we do this, you probably are starting to see a pattern form here. We have our tila sections, and then in between each, we're kind of switching back and forth and placing those size 8 seed beads. And we're doing 2 metal seed beads and then 2 glass seed beads. And then that way we have even color distribution from top to bottom. So at this point, it's just the same thing over and over and over again, which is why we called this project the long winding road. Because if we weren't using such beautiful beads and such great jeweler's wire, it might get a little monotonous. But what's awesome about using quality products that are beautiful is it is a pleasurable experience the entire time, even when it's time consuming. So you can see we're just kind of doing the same thing over and over and over again. So I'm going to work on this a little bit. And if any of you have any questions about the design, I am happy to answer. But truly, it is the same thing over and over again. And then once I'm a little bit farther in, so you can see the drape and the pattern, I'll show you guys how to finish it off. I think for today, because, you know, there are a couple other wonderful presentations during Soft Flex Customer Appreciation Week that you guys won't want to miss. We'll just keep it to a single wrap. But the kit has enough beads for you to do a double wrap.
Oh, good to know. So Abby's going to just string it up and stop so that it goes on once, but you can keep going and make it extra long so you can wrap it up twice. Is that right?
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm seeing some comments here. Cynthia's asking, are we going back to the metal beads?
Yeah, good question. Sorry if I wasn't clear about that. Yeah, we're just doing 2 metal seed beads, then 2 glass seed beads, then 2 metal seed beads. So you can see as I work, well, you can see if I put my hand behind it. As I work, oh, it's twisting. Give me just a second. I pulled that tension a little too tight on the one side. Hold on one second. Oh, come on. Is it gonna show?
Oh,
there we go. Oh my goodness. Sorry about this, guys. I think I need to move my stuff out of the way and then it'll stop trying to focus on those beads. That's what I get for having a fancy camera that wants to do the focusing for me.
There you go. That looks great.
Awesome. Hopefully moving those beads out of the way will stop that issue from happening. So you can see we're doing 2. Okay, moving this out of the way too because it's wanting to find that. So we're doing 2 of the metal beads, then 2 of the glass beads, and then again, we're going to do 2 of the metal beads.
Heather is asking, Abby, can you substitute a regular tila?
You can. You totally can. However, it will distort the design a little bit if you are using a just like, you know, if you are combining other tila shapes with it. But because we have 2 quarter tilas and 1 half tila in this design, you can just use 1 regular tila. But then you don't have the fun color variety. But wouldn't it be cute if you did multiple colors of single tilas? That's something I'm gonna have to try.
That's what I was thinking. The extra half tila does add a little fun pop of color on the side of and then it would affect the way it moves just a bit.
Yeah, I feel like using the kind of brick shaped tilas here rather than a square tila almost kind of gives you the feeling of walking along like a brick paved road. But I would love to see you guys experiment with this design, and just kind of have fun with it and see what different shape or tila size combinations can get you. We have some really fun tila mixes that have like pre-color coordinated quarter, half, and whole tilas. And I think it would be really fun to just kind of switch it up and do like, you know, your little quarter and half sections on one, and then do a whole tila for the next one.
Ooh, that could be really fun.
Yeah.
Caroline is saying, you are giving great step-by-step instructions, Abby. I agree.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Such a good teacher.
Words are hard today for me for some reason, so I'm glad that you guys are understanding this, because it's I don't know. I feel like I kind of settle into my brain working at its full capacity kind of later in the evening. So like midday things are fun, but I'm just not quite
not quite there.
I've had caffeine. I woke up plenty early. I don't know.
Yeah, everything just gets going a little bit later. I think that that's the same for me too. Some people are just that way. I feel like that's true for me also. Even though I've been up since like 7, I still don't quite feel awake yet.
Yeah. Yep.
Heather says it reminds her of making a goddess bracelet. Yeah, it does have a similar.
Totally. Definitely. That's a great comparison. If you guys aren't familiar with the goddess bracelets, there are a couple different styles of those, but the most popular style is when you're using jump rings or kind of circular or oval spacers and staggering your beads back and forth. So in this design, your tilas are kind of taking the place of the jump ring. Do you guys have a tutorial for the goddess bracelets on your?
We do. Yeah. Awesome. Do you have one also?
Ours is a little different. It's called the zigzag bracelet, but it's the same idea. And it is from years and years and years ago.
Yeah, I did one on our YouTube channel. Maybe, I think it was probably when I was first starting my free spirit beading. So I feel like it might have been like 2 or 3 years ago now. But yeah, so you can find the zigzag bracelet on Abby's YouTube, and you can find, I think I did call it goddess bracelet on ours, to see what we're talking about if you're curious.
I wonder who originated that name for that bracelet, because that design has been around for forever, you know, but like only within the past like maybe 10 or 15 years or so have I heard it being called the goddess bracelet.
Interesting. Yeah, I think when I had seen it, I think that's how I recognized it as the goddess bracelet. So I didn't know if it's been around even longer than that name has gotten its origination.
Okay, guys.
Abby's been beading a whole lot longer than I have. That's for sure.
Have I really? How long have you been beading?
Well, I mean, I've been working for Soft Flex Company for 20 years, but I am a graphic designer, and that's what I did. And so the beading was just sort of like occasionally on the side. It wasn't really until I'd probably say the last, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 years where I've gotten much more involved.
Okay.
But you've been doing it since you were young, right? Like a kid.
A wee baby. Yeah.
A wee baby. You came out of the womb just beading away.
I did. I really did. Truly. I feel like I talked about this semi recently, I could be wrong, but like I grew up like as a preteen seeing Sarah's Soft Flex girl blog and stuff, and like seeing her at shows, and
Oh, no
she's like
way.
my beading hero. So it's
That's
just
so cool. I don't think I remember hearing that. I might not have heard that part.
I might have said it in like a whatnot stream or something recently. I feel like I mentioned it at some point within the past couple weeks.
That is super cool.
Yeah. Do you guys remember blogs when blogs were a thing? I'm sure
I was
blogs
actually
are still a thing, but
they are, but they've just sort of changed a bit, right? Though
yeah,
blogging was really a lot of fun. I really loved blogging back in the day.
me too. It's less like Dear Diary now and more like it, I don't know, more professional.
More
Less,
professional. Yeah, more article kind of based, I feel like, I
yeah,
guess.
exactly.
But it was totally Dear Diary back in the day, which was
Right.
so fun.
You guys have a great blog on your website. I love going on there to just kind of get like a recap of all the things that you guys have been up to. Because sometimes, I don't know, I just like, I do a lot of social media like during the day for here. And it's so nice to just be able to see everything in one centralized place. And your blog does that. But I kind of don't even think of it as a blog because to me, at my age, a blog is like your Zanga. I don't even know if anybody in chat knows what a Zanga is. Do you know what a Zanga is, Kristen?
No, I don't know.
Journal?
Like a journal?
Yeah, well, it was like the competitor brand for LiveJournal. Did you know LiveJournal?
Okay, I gotcha. But
I
yeah, I didn't do too much of like that kind of journaling growing
gotcha.
up. So, or at least it wasn't named, I don't think,
Okay.
in a way that I recognize.
Gotcha.
Somebody is saying here, it sounds like you're pulling the tension too hard. This is a loose, just feeding the beads on, no pulling hard is needed. So I don't know if somebody earlier was commenting that they were having trouble with the tension.
Oh, yeah, I missed that comment. So at this one, you can string it on loose and then pull the tension tight at the end. Or if you like the way it looks loose, you can totally leave it loose. But I want to show you guys in just a second. Let me get this last Tila section on here. Well, not last, but let me get the last beads of this Tila section on here. And I'll show you the difference between pulling it tight and leaving it loose. Let me kind of loosen it up a little bit so you can see what I'm even talking about. Because I just kind of instinctively pull tight as I go. Okay, so this is it loose. So our winding road is not very winding. You see how our Tilas are pretty flat and straight up and down for the most part. We have a little bit of tilting. But then watch what happens as I pull the tension. And you can even pull them kind of at the same time. But what I like to do is I pull each one individually and then look how fun and winding that is when you pull that tension tight. So
I love that. That was so fun to watch.
Yeah. So it's up to you. You can either pull the tension tight as you go, or you can leave it loose and then pull it tight at the end. Either way, you're going to have to go back in and pull it tight before you crimp. But whatever's comfortable for you to do as you work, just do you. But it is cute when it's not pulled tight too. Whatever you want to do. Totally for your design freedom here, because you can.
That was really fun. It was like a magic trick. Gina says she loves this design.
Well, thanks.
Kim says, Abby, I think you're very thoughtful about your kits with your colors and your bead choices.
Well, thanks. We try.
I agree.
It's a team effort over here. I don't single-handedly design all of the color combinations. We've got great staff here that kind kind of help me finalize those design ideas. I know that my color selections are super, super specific to me. And so anytime we're doing like buying or anytime we're doing kit designing, I always like to have somebody else with me, because then we can get like a wider spectrum of offerings for people. Otherwise, I'll just buy everything I like or make everything I like.
No, it's nice to have other people that you can collaborate with on your staff and kind of give you a different perspective and help you make things you like. And then they probably surprise you sometimes with things you wouldn't have thought to put together.
Exactly. Yeah, that's definitely like, I don't know. I love just kind of scrolling through Facebook and Pinterest and Instagram and seeing what other people put together, like color combination wise, because that I think is one of my favorite parts of jewelry designing, is just putting together the colors. And then I don't know if anybody has shared this trick with you before, but one thing that I'll do if I'm kind of, if I, you know, I, I feel like sometimes the internet and jewelry designers that we look for inspiration kind of almost get stuck in these like color pattern. I don't want to call it a rut, but like a lot of times you see
that was where I was going. I was thinking rut.
I was trying to think of a more positive way to say it, but we see these color trends that sometimes last longer than what we'd like them to. And so what I'll do is I will look for fabric or like just prints and pull color combinations from that, because I find that sometimes I'll put something together and I'm like, why did I put these colors together? Where did I get that inspiration from? Is it because it's just like ingrained in my head from seeing it so much? But then I'll save like, I don't know, quilt fabric things to my Pinterest board, or I'll like scroll through or not scroll through, but browse through the fabric shop. And I'll see patterns that I like. And even if the pattern can't be replicated, the color combinations can. So
right. I think fabric is such a great place to go and look for inspiration. That's a wonderful idea. Sherry is saying a color loop. That's kind of a nice way of putting it.
There we go. Yeah, I like that. All right. So I think I'm getting to the point where I'm going to need to size it a little bit. But one thing to keep in mind with this design is that when you pull your tension tight, you lose a little bit of that length. So if you are wanting to size your bracelet, you have to make sure that it's pulled at the tension that you're going to keep it at when you go to crimp it. So I'm going to put my last little seed bead on here and then pull tension. And I'm going to show you guys. I wish I had a tape measure back here with me, but I don't. So I'll use my pliers as like a measuring gauge. So you can see we're just a little bit longer than my pliers. But look what happens when I pull the tension out. We're going to lose a little bit of that length. So keep that in mind when you go to crimp your design and you go to tighten those final pieces. You lose that length. You see that? I don't know if you guys can see that, but hopefully you can understand what I'm talking about.
Right, that once you cinch it up a bit, it's gonna they're gonna wiggle back towards each other, and you're gonna lose a little bit of length.
Yep.
Jan is asking, is the steer head button available? She wants to buy multiples.
So do you guys have that button, Kristen?
Is that the Longhorn one?
Yeah, the Longhorn.
But I feel like yours was, oh no, it was the same size. We might still have some in stock. I can't recall. We did have it at one point.
Same. I don't know if we still have any in stock, but definitely either check the Soft Flex Company website for their buttons. And if it's not in stock there, we might have it at beadplace.net. But with the news from TierraCast, once they're sold out on our website, then they're gone. So
So sad.
I
Yeah,
know.
so yeah, go check it out. And yeah, Emmy's saying that the different kits have different buttons. And we
Yeah.
should let you guys know that I think Abby's got a few of each color still available. So you can grab these kits. Right now, if you don't have one, go over to thebeadplace.net and check it out. I don't know if they just searching would be easiest
Yeah, you
or
can just search Long Winding Road in the search bar. Just go to beadplace.net, and then in the top right, there's a little search bar that you can just type in Long Winding Road, and it'll pop right. Oh, thank you. Somebody just linked that in chat. Thank you so much.
Yay!
But I do
Long
want to tell
winding
you
road.
guys, our number one selling color for this kit is this one here, the pearl finish, and I think we only have about 8 of these left, or at least we did at the start of the show. I've been seeing some purchases come through, so thank you everybody, because that's awesome. We appreciate that.
They're all really pretty. I think that color is very classic and could be, such a nice neutral. You could wear it with everything.
Yeah,
And then the other one, the pink is just super fun and interesting. And then the turquoise, of course, is just like, I'm sure a fan favorite.
right. Yeah. One thing that I did want to mention is that I think a lot of times people think of like pink and yellows and things like that for summer, but I think that this is like a super fun fall colorway because it's like
Hmm.
that magenta pink, and then we have that kind of purpley copper iris, half tila, and then copper always to me screams fall. So although it is
Yeah,
fun for summer, it definitely can go fall as well.
I see that. That mustardy yellow too is very
Yeah,
fall. I
definitely.
love that color in the fall.
That's like my color. It everybody here, if we get anything in that's like that kind of brownish mustard yellow, everybody's like,
Hmm.
"Oh, Abby's gonna get that," because
Jan says it was a hard choice to decide. I know, they're all so pretty.
well, thanks.
I see a few of you are commenting. I didn't say it in the beginning of the video, but we are doing a giveaway. There's a ticker on the bottom of the screen. It says comment with Soft Flex Wire, hashtag Soft Flex Wire, all one word, to enter to win a prize. It must be here at the end, and we will be choosing a winner. So if you haven't entered yet, go ahead and leave a comment. You just have to do it once because it'll knock out any duplicates. And just be here, just hang out with us until the end, and then I'll choose a winner.
That's fun. That's super exciting.
I know. We've been doing it with all of our videos this week. So every video you'll have another chance to win. Just got to hang out with us.
Who's on
Not
today?
too
I
hard.
know Kay is on today after me, but who wraps it up at the end of the day?
I do,
You
actually.
do? By
Yeah,
yourself?
by myself.
Cool.
Yeah, we've got Kay with Star Beads at 1 p.m. today after Abby. And then I come back at 3 p.m. Pacific time. And I'm going to be working with our fairy garden kit. I've actually been playing around while you've been beading, trying to figure out what I'm going to make. And
Neat.
so far, having a hard time. I think my brain isn't woken up yet.
Is that the one with the little mushroom charm that you guys got
Yes.
from Tierra Cast way back casting?
Yes. Yes,
Neat.
yes, yes. Oh my gosh, these mushroom charms are so cute.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was kind of eyeing that. I don't remember if it had to have been yesterday. You guys did like a preview stream or something with or
Yes.
maybe with
Sarah, it was the last stream
remember.
of the day. Sarah opened it up at the end of the day yesterday
Gotcha.
with Jesse James Beads.
That's
I think.
right. Yeah.
So she opened it.
We were up here just trying to get caught up on order fulfillment, and I was multitasking and on the phone, but I had it playing in the background, so I wasn't able to listen, but I saw it and I was like, oh, turned on the volume real quick. I was like, what is that?
I know. I did like Well, I'll share with you guys later, but I did some sketches, some ideas, and then I went, oh, I think I'll know. And then I'm just playing with it. And I'm like, oh, it's just not really coming together. So but that's sometimes, how it goes
Yeah.
is you have to try a few things on first before you get the, the final design.
Yep. That's
What's
sure.
lovely about kits is Abby has already gone through the trouble of making up the design for you.
Oh
So
my
you get to
gosh.
just play.
I can't tell you how many different iterations of this turquoise and bronze one we did before we got it right. So isn't that the truth? Okay, so I'm going to tighten this and we're going to get to the point where I'm going to show you guys how to finish it off. And then I think at this point, since you guys have been watching me really kind of almost not struggle, but be a little bit less, I don't know, quick than I usually am with some of these designs, you really start to understand why we called it long winding road. It's easy. It's just time consuming and a little bit fiddly. So you can see what I'm doing here is I have my hands down on my bracelet and I am going to kind of put my hands over the top of the beads. And I'm working on a bead mat. I wouldn't do this right on top of the table or any hard surface. So I'm just going to kind of put my hands here and I'm going to really start to pull some of this tension out. And at this point, what I can do is put a bead stopper on it. And Soft Flex has these bead stoppers with cool little handles on them on their website. Mine don't have the cool little handles. But
you sell them too, though, if they're shopping with you. Yeah.
So what I like to do is I put the bead stopper on just to stop any tension from working its way out. And then I'm just going to run my fingers down it. And you can see at the top here, I'm actually working a lot more tension out than what I initially thought I had already gotten out. So I'm just kind of working the tension, and kind of cinching my bead stopper down as I go. Here, I'll turn my hands this way so you can maybe see what I'm doing. Pulling more tension out. And I'm just kind of making sure everything is uniform. Sometimes with this bracelet, you can find spots that I don't know, this spot's not quite as tight as that spot. So the easy way to fix that is just to kind of slide your fingers down it like you see that I'm doing here. So from here, what we're going to do is we are going to create a little extender spot on the end of our bracelet. Let me find a good spot for it to focus on. So you can see my TILAs don't go all the way up to the button. We do that on purpose because you need this little bit of a skinny neck here in order for it to go easily through the button loop. So we make a little extender. And so what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to backtrack on my bead here. You want to finish with just your TILA section, and then we're going to get our little crimp beads out. So let me get my stopper back on here, and I'll get my crimp beads out. And look, I found my crimp beads right away because they were back in the bag waiting for me.
They didn't get flung across the room.
No. I can't tell you how many times I've been doing live streams and I'm like, where did my crimps go? I have to have somebody on and get me crimps.
It looks like Nancy did find the Longhorn button on your website.
Oh, so cool. Awesome.
Go check out, Jan is asking where, go check out beadplace.net and you can find the Longhorn buttons there.
Yeah. All right. So now what we're going to do is we are going to string both of our tail ends through this one button. And you might be thinking, how? Well, you can do it because it's the same thing as stringing the, the wire up through your clasp and then back down. Sometimes if you have a copper crimp, they feel kind of sticky, but just push it through and you can do it. So here is your final chance to get all of your slack out. So you can see, well, if it'll focus, let me move this out of the way so it doesn't try to focus on this. You can see I've got both of my wires running through the crimp bead in the same direction. We're going to pull all the rest of that slack out. We're going to make sure that both ends are pretty even with the tension. And then we're going to slide that crimp down as close as we can get it. you will see a little space here between the tilas and the crimp, and that's just inevitable. We kind of need that space for our tool to go in there. So the tool that I'm using is the Magical Crimp Forming Tool. You guys have seen Kristen and Sarah demonstrate this so many times, but I'm going to do it for you as well. So what I'm doing is I'm placing the crimp right in the center of that little scooped out or balled out section, and I'm going to squeeze down. So when I open, it should look like ravioli. So I know you can't.
Ravioli time.
Yep. And then I'm going to squeeze the sides in, and I'm just going to kind of start squeezing all the way around. And I'm going to move this off screen for just a second, just so I can see it a little closer so I don't squish it funny.
So that tool uses a 2x2 millimeter crimp tube. That's the size specific for using that. And what it does is turn your crimp tube into a little round or ovally kind of shape. It makes it a nice finish.
Abbi Berta. See?
There
2
you
millimeter
go.
ball. All right. So now what we're going to do is we are going to cut one of these off. So make sure, give it a pull test, make sure it's real secure. If not, you can crimp it around a little bit more. But we're going to leave just a smidgen of a tail end here. And that little smidgen of a tail end on one side is going to hide inside your last little seed bead here. So we're going to put a glass seed bead on. This is going to be our little kind of extender neck to the button. So you can see, hopefully, that it kind of just hid right inside that glass seed bead. Does that make sense, everybody? Jan says, are there enough beads to make 2 bracelets if we don't want to wrap? You know what, Jan, that's a great question. It depends on the size of the bracelets that you're making. There may or may not be enough of those little glass seed beads. But if you would like to color match those seed beads, to like buy more seed beads to do 2 separate bracelets, we can get you color numbers for those if you want to send us a message. So,
and you probably need to pick up a button too, right?
Yeah,
like you would definitely need one more button. Yeah.
Good thinking. And more crimps also. So there you can see that I've added my second crimp on. So we actually have 2 different crimps in this project. No, sorry, 2 separate crimps. Same sizes, but we have 2 crimps in this project. So we have our 2x2 crimp, we have our glass seed bead, and then we have another crimp. So I'm going to string the tail end that I have left, the one that I have not cut off. I'm going to string that through the shank of the button. And I'm going to take the tail end back through that last crimp bead and wiggle it through, pull all the slack out. And then before we crimp, I always like to go in and check again to make sure that this is going to fit through our buttonhole here. Sometimes what happens is once you've pulled a lot of that tension, it might not want to fit appropriately. So you always want to check and see if you need to pull a little bit of slack back into the buttonhole. A little bit of slack never hurt anybody. You just don't want it to be super visible slack. You just, it's like that fine line between a super stiff project and then a loosey-goosey project. So, all right, what I'm gonna do now that I have my button on, see if I can hold it in a spot that you guys can see. I'm gonna crimp my final crimp, and I'm not gonna pop that glass seed bead. That's really important. Make sure you're not gonna crack the seed bead. And then I'm just gonna crimp, rotate and squeeze, just like we did before. And then when we are done and we don't feel any more tension anywhere, we can cut that tail end off. And I'm using a Soft Flex cutter, like a flex wire cutter, to do that. I always recommend using a flex wire cutter instead of like your regular wire cutter. And you're going to end up with a more kind of long-lasting set of tools. So at this point in time, we have this little tail end left, and I like to kind of bend my button down like this. So my button's hanging down, and I'm going to make sure that that tail end is kind of sticking up, and I'll use my fingertips or fingernails if I happen to have them at the time to just kind of push it down into the glass bead. And I'm going to have to get it a little closer to my face, which I know means you guys can't really see it, but I'll bring it back down once I get it lined up. So then you just kind of push it into that glass seed bead, and that glass seed bead hides both of those tail ends. I'll get my finger out of the way. And it's finished. We did it.
You did it.
A cute little bracelet, and it's kind of wiggly.
Oh my gosh. I love the wiggliness of it. It's just so cute. And it looks so pretty. It's just a single wrap too, like just the one.
Yeah.
Like Abby said, you can keep going so that you can wrap it twice. There's enough in there so that you could see she's got the other example where it's wrapped around twice. But it's really pretty as one too.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I think that one of the great things about making your own jewelry is you can make it your own, even if it's a kit. So get creative, add your own parts and pieces. And I hope that you guys do experiment and like try those whole Tila designs that we talked about, and switch up the colors, and make sure to post them in the like Soft Flex Facebook group once you've given it a shot.
Do you guys have a Facebook group too?
We do, yeah. Ours is definitely not as active as you guys is, but it's just called the Bead Place Facebook group. So
awesome.
Post them in both groups then.
Yeah, post to both places. Exactly. Oh, you're getting a lot of love. Deborah says, beautiful presentation.
Thank you.
Brenda says, thank you for this cute project. You are a wonderful teacher.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Well, if it's okay with you guys, I'll kind of switch it back to face cam and we can chat. And
yeah, so cute. Awesome. Funky colors. I love it. Oh my gosh.
Well, thanks, guys. This has been fun.
Wrong setup. There we go. Great demo. So cute. Oh, you guys, I love that you're giving Abby a lot of love. So please do check Abby out over at thebeadplace.net. You can find all of the kits that we talked about. You can get buttons. You can get crimps. You have all of the tools there, right, Abby? You've got all of that too.
Yeah. Everything.
It's a full stop. It's a full stop shop. You can get everything there.
Oh my gosh. Jacqueline says, I'm at 10.5 inches. Can't stop now. You beat fast. I always feel so slow when I'm doing these because it's like I'm having to like make sure it's on the viewfinder, make sure everybody can see it. But I'm also just like, I don't know. I'm not a super speedy beater anyway.
So. I'm not a speedy beater either. I'm a super slow beater. So whenever I do like a project that's a big project, I either have to split it up into multiple videos or try and do step outs or something like that, because otherwise you guys will be hanging out with me for far too long, just stringing away.
We rely on movie magic a lot, especially for like the bead extravaganza projects where it's like you have to get it done, and
you have a very tight
project just in case.
Very tight timeline. Yeah, so you can find Abby and Soft Flex Company in the Great Bead Extravaganza. We have another event coming up in October. So if you're not in that group, go ahead and join us over there. We're on Facebook, but we're also on YouTube too. So you can find and subscribe to the Great Bead Extravaganza on YouTube as well if you don't have a Facebook account. We don't always have all of the presentations there. It just depends on the presenter for that. But everybody's on Facebook. Most people tend to also do it on YouTube as well. This has been such a good time. Thank you so much for joining us, Abby. We are going to pick our winner. So everyone just hang tight for a moment. And if you haven't commented with the hashtag SoftFlexWire, now is your chance to get your your entry in. I'm just going to pop up the schedule for the Customer Appreciation Week. We've got Stars Beads with CAW coming up at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern. Then we're back here with me at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully I get my act together and know what I'm doing by then. And then we have 3 videos all week long. So you can find us with Tiara Cast and Coffee and Craft Wire on Wednesday. And then Sarah will be on her own on Wednesday, I think, showing some new products. We've got Danielle Wicks of John Bead on Thursday, Jill Wiseman Designs on Thursday, and Rebecca Combs with Design and Adorn on Thursday. And then on Friday, we've got Sam's Bead Shop and Nile with Silver Silk and more. And then we've got our after party at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. So that's what's happening. That's what's shaking this week. We've got a lot going on. We also have a swag bag, which I think Abby did send us some goodies to put inside here.
It's so cute.
This is so cute, isn't it? It's going up tomorrow. So it's not online yet, but you'll find it at softflexcompany.com as of tomorrow. You can grab this bag. It'll have some fun goodies in here from some of the presenters.
And Kristen designed the bag. That's her art.
So this is my art all around the outside. We did like a vote in the VIB group, and this was the design that won. And I've been using it for all of the graphics. So it's been really fun. Thank you all for allowing me to just spread a little bit of my art around during this event too. It's been super fun. Oh, Brenda says she loves that swag bag. Jacqueline says, so glad I'm retired. Yeah, lots of fun. It would be it's hard to keep up otherwise, but everything is available for replay. We are streaming on the Soft Flex Company Facebook page, as well as the YouTube channel. We have a replay list on playlist on the YouTube channel, so you can watch everything again, especially if you purchase a kit today. You can come back and watch this and watch Abby explain how to make it once more. Yay! All right, let's pick a winner. This part is always a lot of fun, right? Mm-hmm. Let's see. We get to have a little glitter. We've got 88 entries, and we are giving away a 10-foot spool of the Soft Flex medium wire in purple color today. We decided we had a lot of purple, and we have so many fun purple lovers out there that is the color of the week.
That's a great prize. I love that color.
All right, here we go. You have to be here, so you let me know if we call your name, let me know you're here. Otherwise, I will choose someone else. Eileen Evans White on Facebook. You are a winner. Jan says, winner, chicken dinner time. Oh, Eileen, let us know if you're here. Congratulations. Terry says, one can never have too much purple. Isn't that true?
Totally.
She's Eileen. Here. Yay. Hooray. Congratulations, Eileen. Send us an email at info, I-N-F-O, at softflexcompany.com to give us your shipping information, and we will get a prize in the mail to you. Thank you guys for being here. Let me stop sharing that screen. Thank you so much, Abby. We so appreciate you. We appreciate the beadplace.net, and everyone, if you have not been over to her shop, please go check them out, see what they've got, what's new and what's happening over there. Be sure to subscribe to their YouTube channel, Abbi Berta, and check them out on Facebook and like their page and join their group too, because they are doing also and whatnot.
Yeah, and whatnot. Everywhere, we're everywhere you want to be. And Kristen, you did a beautiful job at saying all that, because I always forget stuff and mess up, and Alex always gives me a hard time. So thank you for doing all that for me so that I didn't have to struggle through that.
It is hard to remember it all, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could be of service.
Well, thank you for having me. This is always so fun, and I always feel honored whenever I get to participate in stuff like this with you guys. So thank you.
Awesome. Well, have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy
Thank
your
you.
long winding path. and, and we'll
Thank
see
you.
you next time.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.